Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Budget Buggies. In this episode, we'll be talking about goalkeeping strategies. Um, and so, the first things to do when you're making a goalkeeper is how you create one. And you'll see me going through all the possible heights that are there. The things you want to remember about creating a goalkeeper are you don't want to make him too short. So, if you make him as short as a striker, like 5'5", 5'6", he'll be too short to be able to save anything properly. And if you make him too tall, like 6'10", with your starting stats, he won't be able to dive down very fast. He won't be able to make those quick reflex saves. So you actually want to make him reasonably tall, but not extremely tall. So like 6'3", 6'4", is what I found works best for me. You might have to fiddle with it a little bit. And so, it might seem awesome to make him 6'10", but it'll actually be not that helpful to you. The thing to remember about when you play a goalie is a lot of it is going to be, you're just going to be standing around and nothing's happening because nobody's attacking your goal. But you have to be ready. You have to be, really paying attention to what's happening in the game, so that when the ball does come towards you, you need to have basic positioning set up. So you basically need to imagine a triangle, if you will, between the ball and the two posts, and try and stay somewhere near the center of that triangle. What I mean is, whenever you see the ball on a striker's feet, you want to make sure you keep moving your position, so that way you keep him in that cone, basically, that's formed by that triangle. And the things you want to do is you want to be able to protect your goal, but you also need to be ready to dive towards another side so that you can either catch a shot, or in this case, what's going to happen is the player is too far narrow, so he's actually going to cross it, and so you need to be ready for when the cross does come in. And positioning really is about 90% of the job of a goalkeeper. Here again, you just come out, position yourself so that you can take charge of your box during corners. Um, and when you're positioning yourself, you need to make sure that you're always protecting the goal side. That's the near side. That's on the right hand side of the one that you see there. You want to make sure that there's no easy shot on your right in this when you're looking in this direction, but you also want to make sure that you have enough space to parry the ball out to your left. Now, in this case, I actually went too much to my left, and I'm a little bit out of position. But luckily for me, the striker takes the shot towards the near side, which is a side as a goalkeeper you should always have covered, because it's easier to take a shot on the inside on where the number one is, when it's much harder to take a shot on three without kicking the ball out of bounds. You also have to make sure that you watch for any attackers that are not being marked by defenders. That was marked by two. If you don't, this is what happens: is you're too committed to one side, and what happens is that any attacker who's open in the box just gets a free tap in on goal. Now, if my goalkeeper character had better reflexes, I'd be able to dive, but my positioning was also it was quite bad, actually. So you don't want to do things like that where you bias yourself too much to the goal side when the player is really far out, where he's not really going to, have a realistic shot to make on your goal. The other thing about defending free kicks is you want to make sure you're kind of in the right spot so that you can stop any direct shots on goal. But you also want to be able to be a little bit aggressive so you can come out for those balls that are, just in the danger zone, right in between the defense and your goal. You see what I did there was when I pressed the back button, actually shows you the gameplay that's going on, so that way you know how to watch from your goalkeeper perspective the whole game. But if you press it again, it'll come back to your goalkeeper view. So that's, you might want to do that when you're kind of bored, when the game plays away from you. You can just kind of follow along at what's going on in the match. Again, being a goalkeeper is really a test of patience at times, because your team might just be, much better than the other team, and they'll just be playing, and you can go and watch what they're doing. uh, see what are the other players or the other goalkeeper doing, and just kind of keep yourself occupied. Um, when it comes to corners, you need to be very, very aggressive, especially in a video game. In real life, you may not be that aggressive because of many reasons, physicality being one of them. But in the game, you really want, instead of being at number one, you want to be somewhere near number two. You want to be there so that you can easily punch out any corners that go in for headers, which are very, very dangerous online. Um, you want to make sure that you hit Y. If you hold Y, then your goalkeeper immediately charges and tries to punch out automatically. Um, and being aggressive helps a lot. The only time it can really hurt you is if the player taking the corner is a little bit more competent than what you generally find online, and if they usually if they punt it far, then you won't get a good punch on it. And you always want to be aggressive. Here, I was very aggressive. I kicked the ball out. The player slid into me. He's going to get a deserved yellow card. But you got to be aggressive. You need to take control of your box. And as soon as balls come in, you take them head on. Now, what about one-on-ones? You would ask. So with one-on-ones, if you don't have a high-rated goalkeeper, if you do have a high-rated goalkeeper, you should stand your ground because your reflexes are going to help you make the shot, or sorry, make the save on any shot that comes in, basically. But if your if your stats aren't super high, if you're just starting out, or if you're just making your way as a goalkeeper, you want to kind of do a little bit of a shimmy charge almost. So you'll see this situation that's coming up where the player is coming in and he has a one-on-one. You want to charge, and most of the time players will panic and they'll take the shot. But you don't want to charge all the way generally because then they might be able to shimmy past you. So you kind of want that. What I did there was I charged too much and he just was able to pass it along. And that should have been a tap in. He missed the shot, but um, generally what you want to do is you want to charge a little bit and then immediately go back and get yourself into position, because the initial charge might spook out, or might affect the attacker's decision making and make him take that early shot. And that's always good for you because he's taking it when he's not prepared. He's farther away from the goal than he wants to be. All these things that play basically to your advantage. And the keeper at the other end, he didn't really charge. He charged, he did the little shimmy, and then he was out of position. So it doesn't work all the time, but most of the time it works. If you have high stats, don't charge. Just stand your ground, and you'll be able to make those saves. Also, people will try and take finesse shots from the corners of your box, and if you just kind of are aware of where they're going to try and take the shot, and then kind of cheat a little bit to the far side, you should be able to stop most efforts. Um, in my cheating, I mean you just kind of you don't be you're not on your near side as much as you need to be. You're a little bit on your far side because you're expecting that curling shot that's going to come in. None of this advice of cheating really applies that much in real life unless you're a very athletic player, because you need to get back in position immediately. Otherwise, a real player would just put it short side for you very, very fast. The other thing about playing a goalkeeper on FIFA 12 is if you hold down LB on Xbox, then it's a shoulder button on PS3 as well. Your player will automatically position himself in the box. And that's something I would highly recommend that you take advantage of when you're just starting out and you're trying to, and I use it with high rated goalkeepers, is you just want to be able to kind of be in the right position by default, and that button really helps you do that. So if you, with these tips, I hope you can be a better goalkeeper, and hopefully we'll all get to play with better goalkeepers online. And you can see, that was man of the match, but with goalkeepers, it's really not that hard to become man of the match. You just need to make a few saves, and your rating will be 9.5 or above. I actually gave up 2 goals there. Um, so make sure you keep at it. You'll get a hang of it. If it's not for you, that's fine. Just please don't select a striker, and then select the goalkeeper position, because your stats will be terrible, your team will hate you, and you won't be able to make any saves, really. And so hopefully this tutorial helped. I know it's been a long time coming, but I had some things I need to take care of. Maybe you guys can tell me what else you'd like to see in the future. I'm looking forward to FIFA 13, obviously, so that should be fun. I don't know, I haven't heard of any changes they've made to the pro clubs in FIFA 13. I'm eagerly awaiting it. I don't know if I'll get it, directly on release this time, as I did with FIFA 12. But who knows? We'll see. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys later.